All right, Charlie, thank you so much for being here on the All Bets Are Off podcast. I'm super excited to have you, man. Thank you again.
Oh man, thank you. I'm really excited to talk to you. And all bets are off.
Yeah, man, this is going to be fun. And I want to jump into the most recent news first, which is something I don't normally do, but I'm excited about this. We're going to talk about it right away. You just released a new record uh, with your band, Saratoga, and we got to talk about that, man. So tell us about it.
Well, the album was released last week on April 24th. It's been pretty well received here in Spain. We started our tour on Saturday in Murcia, which is 4 hours from Madrid. It was a really awesome show, and the vinyl edition it's already sold out, so they have to make more, which is great news.
Yeah.
And we're looking forward for this year. We have like 30 dates, 30 tour dates, including South America, Central America, and Spain. So it seems it's going to be a quite busy year, and I'm looking forward to it to start playing every one of these shows.
Yeah, that's amazing. And how long have you guys been working on the album prior to its release?
Thing is that I started working on it last year
Mm.
because they were already writing songs for quite a while. Now the band is Saratoga is a band that has 35 years old. So they started in the early 90s, late 80s,
Mm.
and I'm the newest member. I've been playing with them for 4 years, but now I officially relocated to Spain so I can tour with them more often. And yeah, it's been a really busy year because at least my parts, I got to write two songs in the album, and all the guitars were recorded in between tours.
Oh,
So
wow.
it's been really busy, really busy. But the goal, because they work with a record company, that it's
Mm.
called Maldito Records, which means something like damned records in English. And and because of a contract thing, they needed the album for this year, and we're really happy that the results are good. And in the end, we're having a good time, but at the same time, numbers are talking, and it's been
Mhm.
doing good. It's been doing great.
So, as of right now, do you personally have a favorite track on the record?
Yeah, it's called A Toda Velocidad, which in English is full speed, right?
Mm.
And it's actually the newest single of the song of the album. I did not know they were going to choose that song because I wrote that, and
Oh, wow.
the record label actually told the band we're going to release this as a single. And so far, it already has 200,000 plays on YouTube, and when we play it live, it's been doing pretty great. So
Wow.
yeah, it's a very satisfying feeling to know that people are liking the song.
Yeah, for sure, I bet. And now you also have two music videos out for this record, right?
Yes, it's two songs that I've written for the album. It's a 10-track album,
Hmm.
and yeah, they gave me this mission of writing two songs for it, and I'm really I'm really happy that they allowed me that because it's like creative freedom in the end of the day.
Yeah, no, that's awesome, man. And I did download the album and I listened to it a few times, and man, your guitar playing is insane.
Thanks,
I
Robby.
love it.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate that, man.
So why don't we backtrack a little bit now? So I want to know what even first got you into rock and roll to begin with.
It's crazy to think about it now because the main reason why I started playing guitar was because a school therapist told my
Mm.
parents that I had to play an instrument to be a better student because
Oh, wow.
I was diagnosed with ADHD, right?
Hmm.
That's the proper term, which was not the case. Back in the day, they used to diagnose everyone with everything. And
Yeah.
thing is that I started playing a Peruvian instrument that is called cajon, which is
Hmm.
a wooden percussion instrument. But they told my parents I should play guitar because there are chords, scales, melodies, and that makes you work on your memory, work on your attention. And I started doing it. I did not improve anyways in school. That did not happen. But I already found something that I really like to do.
Yeah.
And my original plan was to join the Marines, the
Oh
Navy,
wow. Hmm.
because most of my family are in the Navy. But music got in the way, and that's what I've been doing. I mean, in the end, it's like my father told me, "Man, you're traveling the world just like I traveled the world as a Navy, as a Marine." So it's been really good so far. I cannot. I'm really thankful to that school therapist because it opened doors that I did not know would be able to be open now.
So you actually started playing guitar before you even were really like heavy into music, just period.
It's something that I like music as a fan, right?
Yeah.
Like most of us start as a fan.
Hmm.
But there were actually like four moments that it's in resuming, like the four guitar players that I listened to and I said, I really want to do this,
Hmm.
were Slash, Randy Rhoads, Ace Frehley, and and Eddie Van Halen, mostly
Hmm.
like 80s people, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Because I'm 41, so when I was 15, 14 years old, everything was about pop punk and new metal,
Hmm.
and cars were not really having their moment, right?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
it's crazy because when I started listening to music from the 80s, I was, oh my God, this is something absolutely new for me, right?
Hmm.
And the fact that my sisters are way older than me, they're like, we have a 15, 17-year gap between us.
Oh
So
wow.
they were listening a lot of the music from the 80s. And
Hmm.
music from the 80s is like so colorful and so rich in guitars and arrangements that I think that was the main thing that got into what I wanted to play in the future. Because I
Hmm.
played in new metal bands, in punk rock bands, even in traditional metal bands.
Hmm.
But it's the 80s vibe what really got into me. And I think that it worked great because it's year 2026 and I'm making a living playing in 80s based bands, right? So,
Yeah.
so it's crazy.
Yes, absolutely. And I think a lot of that is because of what you just said, like with the new metal era and things like that. There wasn't really a lot of focus on guitar or soloing, great guitar players, and people really had a yearning for that to come back. So, with those four influences that you just talked about, would you say that when you started playing guitar and more in that style, were those the same guys that influenced you like on and on and on, or did that expand?
It did expand, but it's crazy because it did expand a lot. However, what I always do is that I go back for where everything started with with a very emotional feel there
Hmm.
because I've had the chance to meet several of my guitar heroes. If as being a support act for them or
Hmm.
even recording with them. I've got to record a song with Michelangelo Baccio, with Dino Caceres as well. And thanks to, for example, playing in Quarantine with
Hmm.
Chris and PJ and Joe and Kent, I had the chance to meet, for example, Ace Frehley. I've met Vinnie Vincent. I've met Jake E. Lee.
Hmm.
And yeah, it's crazy how things can work. And because of my YouTube channel, I got the chance to be a support act for Slash. And yeah, man, it's been crazy. So I always come back to the origins,
Yeah.
but honestly, it's like I cannot ever listen to a Guns N' Roses song again because I want to listen to it because I like overloaded my head with that music for sure, right? And but every time I don't know, I listen to Kiss or
Yeah.
Van Halen or any of those bands that got me into guitar music. It's like a very emotional thing. It's like it's very weird that I choose to listen to those bands right now. But as soon as they're playing, it's like no, leave it there. Don't change it.
And so you touched on a couple things that I want to get into, but the first thing is going to be the YouTube channel and then going out with Slash. And you were like one of the first people to take advantage of that whole YouTube thing as far as like metal guitar players go. And it really panned out for you in the long run. Was that something that you foresaw happening, or were you just having some fun with it and it just kind of blew up?
It did, because when I started doing the YouTube thing, I
Mhm.
did not even know that I was going to use YouTube for my instrumental music. I already
Okay.
played in several bands in my country. I'm from Peru. And the thing is that I was playing in bands, festivals, bars for quite a long time before that.
Hmm.
And I wanted to make some instrumentals that my bands, one of the bands would say that's too fast. Other
Hmm.
bands would say that's too melodic. Other bands
Hmm.
would say that's too 80s. I said, fuck you all, I'm gonna still record this. And I had no idea what to do with it. So there
Yeah.
was back in the day, there was MySpace, there
Yeah.
was a Meta Cafe, which I don't think it exists now.
I don't
And
think so.
yeah, I know. And there was YouTube. And the only reason why I chose YouTube was because the video quality was pretty decent.
Mm.
And I only recorded this to show it to my friends. You know, it was like my first YouTube comment ever was one of my closest friends saying, "Hey, comb your fucking hair." That
Yeah.
was my first YouTube comment. And and suddenly, as I started uploading more and more music, I started getting comments from other parts of the world,
Mm.
right?
Hmm.
And at some point I said, this might be a window for what I do.
Hmm.
This might be, it's like, of course I was playing covers in bars. I
Yeah.
said, what's going to happen if I play a cover and I post it online, right?
Yeah.
And it's curious because the first cover I ever did was probably a soundtrack from Street Fighter 2, that video game from the 90s,
Yeah.
and it exploded. And I played like some Rondo alla Turca, the Turkish March by Mozart,
Hmm.
and it exploded too. And it's crazy because one, I did this like metal version of Lady Gaga, like back, we're talking about 2010.
Yeah.
The video exploded in a very curious way because it was posted in this metal forum, right? And they were like saying, look at this poser sellout doing this crappy pop music into metal, right?"
Hmm.
That post went insanely viral. And thing is that the channel exploded, and I only had comments in English in a
Oh
moment,
wow.
in a time and moment where I could barely speak in English. I knew the
Mm.
basic words. Back in the day, I always say this: I knew burger, taxi, beer. That's it.
The
And
important stuff.
yes, survival stuff.
Yeah. Right.
And this YouTube thing, as soon as I released a song, it's like an instrumental track called Punk versus Metal,
Hmm.
where I play metal influenced riffs versus punk rock influenced riffs, right?
Yeah.
The video goes like 10 million views. And for a very brief period of time, it was like for days,
Hmm.
it was the most viewed video in the world for a few hours, for a
Wow.
very short period of hours, which opened a window there because Gibson guitars
Hmm.
started working with me from that point on. EMG pickups, Ernie Ball, something that for somebody in my country in year 2011,
Hmm.
that's impossible to think about. Impossible. And suddenly I started to get offers from bands. And that drove me into my first international tour, which was in with a Canadian band named Cobra and the Lotus.
Hmm.
I wonder where they are now. But we went on tour to Finland. It was a European tour with Steel Panther. Then
Oh
we
wow.
made a tour with Buck Cherry, another one with Sonata Arctica, which
Hmm.
were really weird tours, you know, because the band had nothing to do with the music Steel Panther is doing, right?
Yeah.
But it was great because I quite learned a lot about touring overseas. Because in
Mm-hmm.
my country, the word tour does not exist properly as tour, because there's nowhere else to go but 3 or 4 cities, like rock and roll, metal, talking about those genres, right?
Yeah.
And that's how I actually got to meet Chris Jericho in person in year 2012 in Wales.
Oh wow.
That's where
Okay.
we first talked, the first time we ever talked.
Hmm.
And he was really nice. He's always, of course, he talked in English back in the day, and I don't think if he ever understood what I tried to say. Nowadays, he does.
Yeah.
Um, so that was pretty much the year 2011, 2012, the year where my YouTube channel really exploded, and I
Mhm.
tried to do to take most advantage of it, because at some point um, it was like having nothing to
Mhm.
having to being popular instantly, right? Because I don't
Yeah.
think famous is the word. The word is popular. And at some point, I said, what I'm going to do with my first Google check. I said, maybe I'm going to rent an apartment and throw parties every single weekend or maybe every day. But at some point, I saw this word in my channel that said trending, right?
Yeah.
Trending. And I don't know, I saw the light. I said, trending. Trends die.
Yeah.
It's a trend. It goes like it and it can go down.
Right.
I don't know how I saw that being so young. And I I was quite I was not probably back in that moment.
Hmm.
I think probably Saratoga and Jericho would have fired me after the first weekend. Um, yeah, it was wild. But that moment when I saw the trending thing, and I knew this is not going to last forever, so I got to take
Hmm.
advantage of this now. And that's the thing, that I'm no longer a YouTube guy,
Hmm.
but I'm officially an international touring musician, which
Yeah.
is, I never wanted to be a YouTube guy, or I never wanted to make uh, deals with brands in exchange for posts, right? Because
Hmm.
I've worked, for example, with Converse, Chuck Taylors, right?
Hmm.
And that was exclusively because of the numbers, the followers and stuff, right? But
Yeah.
that was never the goal. The goal was to be a musician, be an international touring musician, which
Hmm.
is something that I never thought would be possible. I never thought I would leave Peru to begin with.
Yeah.
And now I've been in 23 different countries just because I was consistent with that, with taking advantage of that YouTube channel. And it's
Yeah.
crazy because, just like I told you, I've shared uh, moments with my guitar heroes
Hmm.
and with people I fondly admire, fondly admire. It's like, eh, for example, with Chris, I
Hmm.
picked Chris in PlayStation 1.
Yeah.
Now he's my friend. It's nuts.
Yeah,
And
that's wild. Like that really is. And I don't mean to cut you off, but like,
it's
so you
wild.
that was kind of my next segue. Is so you were a Chris Jericho fan, a wrestling fan, all that stuff.
Absolutely. I'm really into anything related to
Mm.
wrestling, and like worldwide talking, like not just the American one, the Mexican, the Japanese one. I'm really into it. It's like the word is just like people are into Star Wars,
Hmm.
right? I'm
Hmm.
into that, into wrestling, and it's even like I'm into old school wrestling, so it makes it even more of a, I'm always arguing with people, so that's the
Yeah.
kind of where it goes. So yeah, it's like my parents are in my family, everyone, my parents, my friends, my sisters, everyone is really proud. For my parents, what they are really shocked about from the whole thing is that I speak English.
Oh, really?
Yes, they're so proud. That's what they consider. That's the best thing, that I could ever do was speaking in English and fluent English.
I
Yeah, they're
love
happy
that.
with that.
That's awesome. I mean, and all of this stems from you blowing the doors down with YouTube, and then your career just keeps on that trajectory. And I mean, and smartly of you to know that you had to take advantage of it when you did. So, you said you met Chris around 2012 ish. You were a wrestling fan. You're obviously a Kiss fan because you mentioned Ace Frehley, and obviously you play in Quarantine, which is, the world's best '80s non-makeup wearing Kiss tribute band. And so, how does that all come about? Like, where does your love of Kiss stem? And like, how long after meeting Chris does he contact you and say, "Hey, man, I got this project I started during COVID. Do you want to be a part of it?" Were you part of it right from the jump?
No, because when I met Chris, was in a totally different environment. It
Hmm.
was a festival named Hard Rock Hell in
Oh,
Wales,
yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah. Hmm.
And we got to hang out in the dressing rooms, right?
Hmm.
And that was like a quick thing. I had a picture with him, and that was it.
Hmm.
And that was in 2012. And then in 2020,
Hmm.
Chris writes me a message in 2021 because it was gonna they booked the first show for Quarantine in Chris Jericho's cruise, right?
Oh, yes, yeah.
And the original guitar player, Joe McGuinness,
Hmm.
was a guitar wizard, was not able to make it in that date, but they
Hmm.
were already announced. And Chris told me that it was nuts. It was he starts following me on Instagram, and next thing I see is like this message telling me to join the band.
Hmm.
I was filling in for Joe, and the fact that he said, we play Kiss, non makeup Kiss." I said, "Man, this you gotta be kidding me." And he sent me the set list. I said, "This is amazing. This there's no way there's so much synchronicity here, right?"
Yeah, yeah.
And and that's how it started. And then I was filling in for Joe, and then Chris tells me, "You got to stay in the band. We're gonna have two guitar players now," and it's been like that ever since. And it's not because I'm always talking to them about how we got into Kiss, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, they have so many crazy stories because they lived the era of Kiss, right?
Right,
That
right, yeah.
era, the non-makeup era of Kiss. However, when they were 15, it was the late 80s. When I'm 15, it's the late 90s. No,
Right.
early 2000s. So one day, actually, Chris asked me, "How did you become a Kiss fan?" And I said, "I watched the movie Detroit Rock City." Yeah, I'm a big fan of Edward Furlong. I think that's one of his most iconic roles.
For
And
sure.
yeah, they were like kind of shocked about it because
Yeah.
everybody becomes fan of the music and the image and everything. I become a fan of the movie. First
Hmm.
of all, it was the movie. Even like there are quotes of I haven't watched the movie like in 20 years,
Hmm.
but I still remember that Latino looking guy saying, "You want Kiss tickets? Go shake your wee wee."
Yeah.
Right? Those like the
Yep.
Uncle fucking cheese, and those stayed in my head forever. And and the thing is that I became a fan of Kiss specifically because of the intro is Love Gun.
Mm.
Love Gun. It's like the movie's called Detroit Rock City, but the intro is Love Gun.
Hmm.
And there is this like parts from when Kiss ruled the world, the late 70s. And there's this part where Ace Frehley is playing his ass off,
Hmm.
like being Ace Frehley in his prime, that I actually said, I want to play guitar. That was one of those moments I said, I want to play guitar, but not like playing like a virtuoso or like classical. No, I want to be like that, like have fun while playing guitar because he's having fun while playing guitar, at least in that era.
Yeah.
And that's how it happened because everything we know about Kiss in South America, it's on the radio. I Was Made for Loving You, Rock and Roll All Night. Once in a while, they can play Beth. Once in a while, they can play Sure Know Something.
Hmm.
But all the other stuff, the golden stuff, it's for fans, and that's where I became a fan because I wanted the hidden stuff, the stuff that it's
Yeah.
not on the radio, right? So
Yep.
it was a perfect timing. I'm a huge Vinnie Vincent fan, even though he's got really crazy stories, and lately he's been doing like really crazy stuff.
Yeah.
But man, I
Yep.
got to shake his hand, and it was a really cool moment. So yes, I'm supposed to be in the band. Joe McGuinness does the Bruce Kulick stuff,
Yeah.
and I'm in charge of doing like the Vinnie Vincent stuff. So
Yeah.
it's pretty fun. It's really fun.
I love that, and I noticed that when I saw you guys a couple weeks ago in Rome. That's exactly like I picked that up right away, and the set list was awesome. There was deep cuts, and there was stuff that like enormous Kiss fans like me absolutely go nuts for, and people who aren't as big into Kiss can still enjoy it because the songs are just great. You know what I mean? So it's I see the mix in the crowd of like, okay, these people are here because they're enormous Kiss fans, and these people are here because they're enormous wrestling fans, and everybody has the same amount of fun. And I think that that's really, really great. I mean, you guys are fantastic. You really are.
Oh, thank you so much. It's cool that you mentioned that because, in the end, it's a show. In
Mm,
wrestling, it's a show, right?
yep.
And it has so many similarities. And the fact that it's a cool set list, it's, the band is really tight. It's
Mhm.
like the band is really tight. And with time, it's getting better, which is great because we've already rehearsed 3 times in the
Mm.
last 6 years. This
Wow.
week, Quarantine is turning 6 years old. So
Wow.
I know it's crazy. And thing is that now that you mentioned that, it's like wrestling fans, music fans. In the end, they're going to a show and they're having fun. And
Yes.
it's like, it's listen to this. It's like, so why are you coming to America? Well, I'm playing with the Kiss tribute band, non makeup era, where the frontman is professional wrestling legend Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
What? That's that's quite intense. Welcome
Yeah.
to America, right? So
That's awesome. I love that. Oh man, I can't say enough good things about Quarantine. And again, your guitar playing because I'm standing there on the side of the stage watching your solo, and I was like, that was when I decided that when I got home, I was going to email you and talk to you about coming on the
that's
show
amazing. Thank you very much,
immediately.
Robby. Oh man.
And then, of course, after this interview, you're going to have to call Chris and tell him your new favorite wrestler is Robbie Vegas. And
Okay. Sounds good.
no, no, I'm kidding. So I got to ask this. So you're obviously very influenced by Kiss, by Ace Frehley, by Vinnie Vincent. Do you hear that influence in your original music?
Absolutely. I would say so because um in the end of the day, what comes out of your hands and your soul is the soundtrack of your life, right?
Yeah.
It's like I would not be able to play something that I've never ever heard before. I think that the soundtrack of your life is what is going to come out of your heart and your hands,
Mhm.
because you're going to play it with much love and passion more than any other music style that it's new for you, right?
Yeah.
So that's the thing that as long as I'm playing like rock and roll and heavy metal, it's going to be from the bands that I've listened for so many years. And
Yeah.
now finally, it's like right now I'm 41. And
Mhm.
this is the right moment where I said, I think that this is pretty much where my career as a musician is beginning. I feel like
Mhm.
this is a new beginning. I'm in a new country. Both bands are doing pretty well,
Mhm.
and I just gotta hold on to it and keep pushing, man. Because uh, the best thing about this is that we're all having a great time. We're all having fun.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's amazing too that I just want to point out the age thing because it seems like that's such a common thing, whether it be professional wrestling or music or whatever, is that now people who are, so I'm about to turn 39, so we're right around the same age.
oh,
And
you
I
look
feel
great, man,
like,
for your age. Thought you were
thank you, so do
younger.
you.
Yeah, man. Oh, thank you.
So I see this happening and it's like a trend where it's like now at that age, it's like everybody's at their peak, they're at their prime. This is where it's happening. Whereas, like, I think 20, 30 years ago, they would have been like, oh, you're done. And now it seems like everybody in this age range is just starting to do great things. And I think that's really cool that you just pointed that out. It seems like something there's a big shift, you know?
Yeah, it's like, for example, here comes a wrestling thing. You know that in the early 90s,
Mhm.
like late 90s, early 90s, they would make fun of Ric Flair for being old, and he was 42.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
nuts.
That is
That's
insane.
nuts. It's
I,
nuts. You
I
remember that
agree.
promo by Scott Steiner saying that he looked like a Shar-Pei puppy? Dude, he
Yeah,
was like he was like 40 something. Like
yeah.
nuts. Yeah.
And they were basically calling those guys like washed up at the time. Oh, who wants to go see these nostalgia acts when there's these up and comers like Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels and who were great and they're still great, but like they were pushing aside the Macho Mans and the Jake the Snakes and the Hulk Hogans, and those guys were like 39.
Yes,
you know,
absolutely. But well, it's like, yeah. Now that you say it, and you mentioned these guys, for sure, you know that they did not sleep well at all in the 80s.
right?
You know, they looked the part.
For sure, for sure. So here's my next guitar related question for you. Do you think right now modern guitarists, do you think they rely too much on speed over feel, or do you think there's a good balance going on of that right now?
I think that there's so many players right now
Hmm.
that you either can look that way or you can look the other way.
Hmm.
Because of course there's like a community that is pretty much focused on shredding guitars, right? And
Hmm.
insane shredding guitars. But there's also the other part. There's more melodic. There's more like pop sound guitar players, and
Hmm.
I think that there's like this war between, because it's a war between the emotional guitar players and the fast guitar players. But it's like they have no idea how much emotion shred guitar players put into their music, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of something that I believe that it's pretty subjective. For sure, there are musicians and players that sound like, if you cannot make the melody with your voice or whistle it, I personally think that's not music. That's just notes, right?
Right.
But it's you cannot say that a fast guitar solo it's a bad solo, because there are fast guitar solos with lots of emotion. I mean, there's Tornado of Souls, for example,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
And that has everything, pretty much everything. Has a lot of soul, has a lot of shredding bits, because you need to practice a lot of picking parts there.
Hmm.
And I think the same applies to even to Sweet Child of Mine has a really like shreddy part.
Yes.
So let's not talk about Eddie Van Halen, which is like or Randy. They're
Yeah.
emotional. Yeah, they had like their really like fast parts.
Hmm.
Well, there's something that probably is, now that you mention it, probably is like in the songwriting, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
It's in the songwriting department where probably some musicians are failing. But I think it's very subjective. It depends of what the the audience likes. They probably
Hmm.
like this or they probably like that, but it's not that they have to actually make it a competition.
So I think staying on kind of what you're saying, so let's take Quarantine for example. You guys are doing the Kiss covers, but you
Right.
still have your own feel. So how do you bring your personal feel to what you're doing while you're playing Kiss tunes? Because I felt while watching you that you had your own thing going on, even though it was covers. You know what I mean?
That's quite awesome, because that's pretty much one of the goals of the band, because we're not trying to be a cover band, but more like a tribute band, right? Because as you can see, like we have a front man, we have one front man. Kiss had
Right.
two, right?
Right. Yep.
And in one front man, it's like Chris is doing the work of two men in one. And
Yes.
I think that's the magic of the band, is that everybody has such a different background.
Hmm.
The drummer, we're all, of course, huge Kiss fans, but it's like the drummer plays with Luke Bryan.
Yeah.
We have a PJ, who's the bass player and backing vocals. He's with Fosse, with Trickster,
Hmm.
and Joe, who's got a great influence of country music. He's a great singer. He's not only a guitar wizard. He's also a great singer.
Hmm.
And I think that uh, it's pretty great that we've got to match all our styles and influences into one, because I
Hmm.
agree. It's like it's not that PJ sounds like Gene, right?
Hmm.
He sounds like PJ Farley playing Gene's bass
Right.
lines, and I
For
think
sure.
that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I loved that about you guys is that you still had your own identity. and I thought that was really cool. And I'm glad we brought up PJ because I love PJ. He's been a good buddy of mine,
Oh
and
man, PJ's the best.
we'll give a even I guess we'll give a little nod to Joey Casada because he steps in sometimes, but we don't have to talk about him too.
I love Joey. I love Joey.
We won't. I'm not even going to tell him that I said his name. So, so this next part that I like to do on the podcast is I call it the lightning round, and we're gonna just kind of do like a little this or that kind of thing. But
All
for
right.
you, I'm gonna start off things a little bit differently than I normally do, and we're gonna do a this or that of Kiss records
All
to
right.
start. So we're
All
gonna
right.
see which ones you'll choose, and we're gonna
Oh
start
man.
with would you take Revenge or Carnival of Souls?
Revenge.
All
By
right,
miles.
Revenge. Yeah.
By miles. Yeah.
All right. How about we're going Destroyer or Dress to Kill?
Oh crap. I'll take Destroyer. I
Going
really like.
Destroyer.
Yeah, Destroyer wins because I like the cover. Even
All
though
right.
Dress to Kill is iconic.
All right. Fair. How about Crazy Nights or Asylum?
That's a really tough one. Really, really tough one. Um, I gotta go with Crazy Nights because it's the one that actually made me fall in love with non-makeup Kiss.
Okay. Very cool. And now we're gonna get into the live records. Would you take a live one or would you take a live three?
Alive, I think I'll take Alive 3.
A live three. All right.
Yes, because it takes more of the whole eras, right?
Yes.
So it's like a more like Alive 3. It's like greatest hits live, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a little bit heavier too. A little
Yes,
bit heavier.
absolutely,
You
absolutely.
know what?
Bruce is amazing.
That's what I was
What a
just gonna
player!
say. Yeah.
What a
Bruce
player!
is fantastic, and specifically,
Great guy too.
oh, the nicest. And
Great
that
guy.
version of Lick It Up is, I think, the better version of Lick It Up. So,
I love how they play it there and how they play it in Animalize live. Both. I
oh
love
yeah,
it.
yeah, I'll give you that one too. All right, so now just a couple other different lightning round questions. Would you take Ozzy or Alice Cooper?
Aussie by miles.
All right, Poison or Motley Crue?
Oh man, that's a tough one. Very, very tough one. I'll take Motley.
Motley.
Yeah.
Now, let's just pretend you're stranded on a desert island. You can only take five records with you. What five records are you taking?
I'm taking Appetite for Destruction.
Hmm.
I'm taking Van Halen Best of Ball One. I'm taking Queen Greatest Hits, the one where they already have the haircuts,
Yep.
and yeah, I have two more, right?
Yep.
All right, I'll take Kiss. I will take Kiss, Lick It Up,
All right.
and I would take October Rust by Typo Negative.
Oh, nice. Very
Yes,
cool. That's a good
absolutely.
selection.
I mean, that's the one that comes to mind right now, but there are so many albums that I really appreciate that you said five and not two or three. Yeah, that would make her so difficult.
Well, here's a good music question for you. Do you have a guilty pleasure song that people wouldn't believe that you like?
Well, I think that I do not consider music that you like guilty pleasures, but I know what you mean. And
Yeah.
sometimes, every once in a while, in my playlist, it's like everything is um, kind of like heavy and rock and roll in my playlist. Like, and suddenly, out of nowhere, you can listen to I think "We're Alone Now" by Tiffany.
Oh, there you go.
Right?
Yep. Yep. Hey, man,
Yeah.
that's a great song.
I know, and there are so many songs that remind me of that era because they remind me of my sisters, right? When they
Yeah.
listen
Yeah.
to music. So "Tonight" by New Kids on the Block, I love it. Like,
There you go.
yes, I. It's like you see, it's not a guilty pleasure because I'm really proud that I like that song.
I get exactly what you're saying because I like a lot of like the '80s new wave stuff that'll come on, and
Oh,
it's
I love
like,
it too.
yeah, you gotta,
B-52s,
yeah, like stuff like that. It's like you hear it and you're instantly like, oh man, good song.
absolutely. Like you see, it's not guilty pleasure. It's just like you like it. It's I don't know, like Tears for Fears.
Yeah,
right?
exactly, stuff like that. But I do think that people see like rock and rollers and they just automatically assume you would never. So when they hear that you like stuff like that, they're like, "Oh wow,
Oh man, that's what I think when people look at me at the gym. Like, I
yeah,
wonder, is he listening to Pantera?
yeah,
It's like, no, I'm listening to Pet Shop Boys.
yeah, yes,
You know what I mean, right?
yes, absolutely, absolutely, man." So here's a three questions of the lightning round. I'm going to combine them all. Give me your favorite movie of all time, your favorite TV show of all time, and think back to when you were a kid. What was your favorite cartoon?
And my favorite movie of all time, that's a really tough one because I would say that I have like my favorite movie of all time. Oh man, that's a tough one. Right now comes to my mind the Never Ending Story.
Mm, good one. Yeah,
It's really traumatic.
yeah.
Yeah, and it was favorite movie of all time,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
What's the next one?
Favorite TV show and favorite cartoon.
Okay, favorite TV show. That's a tough one because there's this TV show. I would say The Sopranos.
Oh, good choice.
Yeah, man. And when it's great because now the last tour I did with Quarantine, PJ drove me to the airport, and we had to go through Jersey and the George Washington Bridge,
Yeah.
and I could not think of, I could not think as soon as I see the bridge, it was like, oh my God, Tony was here, right?
Yeah, yeah. Yep.
And yeah, the Sopranos that goes for a top one. I would have said like maybe Breaking Bad or Game of Thrones,
Oh,
but
yeah.
I do believe that there would be none of that without The Sopranos. I think that
Oh,
Tony is it's my favorite TV character of all time is probably Tony Soprano because at the end of the series I hated him. Yeah, he was like over the line. He was nuts. Like
yeah.
everything was bad choices. So
Yep.
yeah, The
I
Sopranos.
agree. Great. Good choice. Good choice. Now, what about cartoon?
Favorite cartoon of all time. Hmm. There's this anime called Death Note.
I've heard of that.
It's really good. I watched that in my 40s. I watched it
Mm,
like a couple months ago,
mm-hmm.
and it's my favorite anime slash cartoon of all time. I really loved it. It was like I could not wait to get home to keep watching, like that good. So it's like a suggestion. It's really good.
So when you said Death Note, my immediate first thought was, are you a fan of horror movies?
Yes,
So,
for I love horror movies, specifically 70s and 80s.
yes.
So yeah, everything that
Agreed.
has to do with Poltergeist, Friday the 13th,
Yeah.
The Omen, The Exorcist, all that stuff before CGI. I love it. Like Kevin Bacon with the eye popping out. It's
Yep.
no that was
He
this
he
one.
did the throat. The throat.
Yeah, the throat one.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
He did the
arrow.
throat.
So yes, I'm mostly into those movies.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite movies of all time is The Warriors.
Oh, Warriors. Yeah, that's a great movie too. Great
And
movie.
lately, I've been watching these TikToks of where are they now and how they
Oh,
look now, right?
yeah.
So emotional because they were like in their late teens and early 20s, and now
Yeah.
they're like 70. It's been 40 something years, 50 something years. It's crazy. Yeah,
Yeah, no, that's wild when you see those transformation videos and things like that they do.
I
Those are
know.
wild.
Yes, it's wild.
I gotta say though, me and you are on the same page with everything: music, wrestling, horror movies, same same
That's
exact
pretty cool,
everything.
bro. I love it. I dig that.
Well, now I got to throw in one more this or that question because we're talking horror movies. So, would you take the original Friday the 13th or the original Halloween?
Oh man, that if you mean the original, like the movie, the first one,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, the first ones of each. Yeah,
I would take Halloween just for one reason that I don't think that Friday the 13th, the first one,
hmm
can speak for the whole franchise because Jason only appears 30 seconds or
yes,
less. So I'd take Halloween 1. Yes, I think it makes more
yeah.
sense.
I mean, I think Halloween 1 is probably one of the closest movies to perfect that they've ever made. There's certain movies that you just go, man, that's a perfect film, and I think Halloween One is one of those movies.
It's like pretty disturbing
Hmm.
slash Hollywood. It has a pretty good doses of both.
Right, right.
Yeah,
I
they
agree.
had more freedom probably back in the day with those. Who knows,
Yeah. No, I
right?
mean, and I like that it could be scary and kind of mess you up without having like tons of buckets of blood or like, there's really not a whole lot of gore. It's just a creepy, scary movie. The music really brings everything together, and you just can't beat stuff like that. That late '70s, early '80s horror was just prime.
Absolutely, I agree. It was like the golden age for horror. That's
Hmm.
how why so many of those characters are still going on today in conventions, right? It's
Yeah.
like the very few survivors of the new era are here, like
Hmm.
uh, the mask of Scream, for example,
Yep.
or the clown art that
Yeah. Art the Clown. Yeah.
Vlad Terrifier. But the other like modern movies, there are not many of those. So it's like a very specific thing. So the fact that they're making their own legacy,
Hmm.
appearing in the 2020s,
Yeah.
it's got a lot of merit, a lot
For
of
sure.
like great work.
I agree. Well, before I get you out of here, I want to wrap things up by asking you what advice you would have for guitar players starting out right now that want to do what you've done.
Well, to enjoy the ride. If you're gonna do something, you gotta enjoy it because
Hmm.
if not, it has to fulfill your soul or fulfill your wallet. It's that
Yeah.
simple. At least it has to fulfill one of those.
Hmm.
And if it fulfills both of them, you just won in life. But it's like that. If it fulfills your soul and you enjoy it, go for it. And there's nothing. Don't look at the other side. Just look at your path because music is it has so many characters and experiences that you have to do. I mean, touring is not for everyone, but I do think that if you have the chance to go on tour at least once,
Hmm.
do it because you're never gonna forget how many bonds you're gonna make from that.
That's solid advice. I think that's a great place to put a pin in this. So if you want to plug your social media or anything that you got coming up that we didn't get to, now's the time. Take it and do what you need to do.
Well, thank you very much, Robby. I'm Charlie Parra Del Riego. I'm the guitar player in Quarantine and Saratoga. Both bands have all their music in every digital platform. And please listen to us. And if we're in town, come and watch us because it's even better live.
Oh man, fantastic! And I gotta say, we might have to have you come back on and do a Kiss episode sometime, where we just like do some kind of Kiss draft, or we always do stuff like that when it comes to Kiss. So I'd love to have you on for stuff like that.
Anytime, Robby. I think that synchronicity is going to be on our side. So we're going to make it. It's like right now, here is 11 p.m.
Right now, is it really? So
Yes.
where I am, it's
Uh-huh.
almost 5.
Yeah.
So I'm in New York. So for me, yeah, I was wondering how this time zone thing was going was going to
Yes.
work for us, but we made it work and we got it done. And I so appreciate you being here, man. Thank you.
Absolutely, man. Anytime. It was really awesome talking to you, and it's been awesome to practice my English speaking, right?
Thanks, man, and you have a good night.
Thank you, man. It was really awesome talking to you.